Welcome back to another day of living in the new house. Look at this! I've come home, the electricians have been busy boys. We now have the lights all hung in. Now these are sort of temporary but permanent, so these are the proper light fixtures which you'll see I've got the white bezels, so I'm going to paint the ceiling white, they're blending nice. We've gone with a warm white as well, which I'm actually really pleased because he's put dimmer lights in than was expecting. So I was expecting, because we put the 2 extra LEDs in this room, was going to be way too bright, but actually this is like a really nice brightness. It's not straining my eyes or anything else like that. Now, I say these are temporary because literally at the moment we've got like one switch down in the kitchen, I think, that covers all the lights downstairs, and one in the upstairs which covers all the upstairs. But every single room now has some form of lighting in, which is absolutely fantastic. They've also been really busy, if I show you under the cupboard now as well, putting the fuse board in. So the trunking's all in to hide all the cables in. They were telling me that the supplier had the miscommunications and they supplied him with the wrong board, and that board's actually £100 more expensive than the one they were intended to give me. So I got a free £100 extra on the fuse board, which is good. Apparently it's worked out quite well as well, because that's a 21 gang fuse board, so you can fit 21 breakers in it. The one we were supposed to be getting was 18 and single layer, which would have meant that it was much longer and might have actually struggled to fit underneath there. So actually it's worked out really well. We've got that. So that's all in, which is fantastic. We've got lighting, no more struggling around with torches and dodgy lamps and that kind of thing when we're working late into the night. We also now have one socket upstairs, which is the one in this back bedroom here. Now the reason they've put that up temporarily for us is because obviously we've been running the heater off an extension cord, which is plugged into an extension cord, which is plugged into an extension cord, which is plugged into a temporary fuse board. That's not really a safe thing to do. So he's put that one in there, so at least when we put it in there we can have it running off the one breakered fuse board, and away we go. So yeah, we have lighting pretty much everywhere bar the front bedroom. We have some power, we have a fuse board in. We can now remove this cable coming upstairs as well and just have it safely running around there. Great success, very happy. Now, I've been on a hackathon all day today at work, so that's been going pretty well, so we've had a good positive day. I dropped into Screwfix on the way home to pick up some more screws for the floorboards because we were running out. And now I just need to get on with editing the vlog, which is supposed to be released for today, not today for you guys, but today. Once that's done, then I think what I want to crack on with is getting some of the plasterboard insulation and stuff like that up, because then that will bring the house even closer towards completion. So yeah, we're going to be cracking on with that today. I think the main thing for me is that it's weird how just having some proper lighting in here weirdly makes the house feel more complete. Like nothing else has changed apart from we can see what's going on now, but it actually makes the house feel more complete. One of the problems we did have this morning as well, sorry, there's a lot to update you on at the moment, is we had another water leak from the loft, different place this time. Elizabeth was an absolute champion because I'd literally just parked up at work and she rang me going, there's another water leak. She went up in the loft, went through all the instructions I gave her on how to isolate it, did an absolutely fantastic job, drained the system down so I didn't have to rush home, so very proud of her for doing that. And that's now been reported back to Alex, so he's got to come back and have a look at that one as well. We were hoping to have the heating and hot water on today, but because things aren't quite finished yet with the plumbing and the leaks and the things going on, and because I didn't realise I was supposed to buy the smart thermostat, which I haven't done yet, we weren't able to do that. So I need to go and order one of those. I'll probably do a bit of an update later on when I've had a look at that. And then we're going to arrange for the plumber and the electrician to arrive back at the same time to get the water back on. So we're not quite there with heating yet, but at least we're there with lighting. So we can see, but we're not warm. Anyway, I think that's enough of a waffle. That's quite a long intro. So we're going to go edit the vlog and then we'll catch up with you when we're about to do some work. Well, plumber has been round as normal. This kid can talk for England. Alex, you need to learn to be quiet, mate, sometimes. Jesus wept. But he's now gone through, as you can see from all the solar stains, and refixed that leak. Yeah, you can't see that too well. There you go. Refixed that new leak that appeared today. It's wild because this is like the lowest pressure system in the house, but for whatever reason it keeps leaking. So hopefully that again is all sorted. We will keep an eye on it. Hopefully don't wake up in the morning with more leaks, but at least Elizabeth knows how to isolate it now, which is good. Part of the reason we ended up talking for so long is, in reality, he's kind of right, because where we've got these tiles on the wall and everything, we're probably going to end up damaging the plasterboard. If I damage the plasterboard's probably going to have to come off. If the plasterboard comes off, then it's going to ruin the egg boxing and probably ruin some of the structural integrity of the wall. So
The best course of action, maybe taking the whole wall down, which I really, really didn't want to be doing, especially not with Elizabeth here, because we kind of need the shower to be functional. Now, I'm, in my gut, says I can take that wall out and rebuild it with plasterboard in a day, easily. My gut seems to that. He seems to think I'm being over optimistic with that one. I seem to think it's possible. So what I told him to do is tell me a weekend, a long weekend, Friday through Saturday. Saturday when he's free, and I will get that wall back up. We will get the floorboards all back down in here. And I reckon I can do floorboards, wall out, wall down, wall back up again with plasterboard. Provided I've got all the materials around me, I reckon I can do that in a day. It's a tall order, but I feel like it's possible. We're still on and ahhing over it. My head tells me to do it. My gut tells me to do it. But my looking after Elizabeth's brain tells me, yeah, we want to make sure we at least got the bath or the shower or something functional, because we don't want to be driving backwards and forwards to either my parents or my sisters or somewhere to have a shower temporarily. I'm less of a problem because I can wash in a sink. I mean, technically you can wash in a sink, it's just not fun. I also technically have showers at work, so it's less of a problem. We could get gym membership, as Jack suggested, which would do us temporarily, but I reckon it's cheaper than a couple of days.
Like, I don't mind if it's only a couple of days. We go to your parents once to shower.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Because at least we'll know that it's done properly. If we go into this assuming it's going to be fine, and it turns out to not be fine, then it just sets us back even further, and it's stuff that we haven't planned for. Whereas if we go into it saying, okay, we're going to do this, at least we have mentally prepared that that's what we're going to do.
And as with everything I've done now, my brain says do things properly. Yeah. Like everything I've done. Like half the time, on the contrary, going, you've over-engineered that. No, I've done it properly. That's the way I'm looking at it. Yeah. Doesn't mean it's always the best. I'm not going to say is all the work I've done is the absolute best. Obviously, I'm still learning as I do things, but my brain is saying do it properly. And my brain says rip it out.
I told you a few days ago that we're going to have to rip that out, and you said we weren't. So
there you go. She's spoken. We're ripping the wall out.
Ripping the wall out.
I need to get some more materials in. Yay, get ready for more delivery of witch trucks and everything else in there. So I need to get more plasterboard.
Floorboards.
Big insulation, floorboards. We'll get some loft insulation in. Need plasterboard for the ceiling.
We order tiles, but that's not urgent.
Tiles is not as urgent, but we can do that. Bonding and everything else like that. Cool, okay, well, we're going to have to spec up the materials for that. But I physically actually want to get on with something today, and I think the easiest and quietest thing I can be getting on with is getting some of the soundproofing in that wall next door. So we're going to get a pack of that out. Going to cut it open, see how much it goes poof and expands by, and see how much of a faff it turns into, try and cut it down to size. I have seen people online saying better to use a kitchen knife to actually put this in. So I might commandeer a kitchen knife and see if it cuts it. Otherwise, if it doesn't do it too well, maybe scissors. We'll see how we get on with putting it in to there. Now, I have bought it hopefully for the right size to fit mostly between the stud work. So I know some of the studs aren't quite on centre because I put that beam. I didn't allow for the centres off that one beam. So there's a couple that aren't quite to the full size. And especially in this corner where we've got halves and pipe works and everything, it's going to be a bit fun. But there's only one way to find out, and that is by getting on with it. And that is exactly what we're going to go do. Well, we have 50mm thickness, shows studs are 68, rock wall, 400mm wide, 1200mm long. No idea how big that is with my cross beams, but this is the stuff we're going to go in the wall, so we're going to cut her open and see what happens. That's one whole pack of sound insulation in. I mean, even standing in here, especially if I stand this side of the room, you can already hear the sound and the sound dampening effect, which is quite good. So over there, it's still going to be a bit echoey, but it should provide some privacy between the rooms, which is nice. You may have seen the time lapse. There was one minor incident with that hole. I had the plastic sheet over it and forgot I hadn't got a floorboard there, and yeah, thankfully it didn't go through the ceiling. But that's pretty much in. We are going to leave it there in terms of the insulation, because I have just realised I'm missing a noggin here I haven't put in. That was the one we were using as a doorway, so I've got to put that back in, which I don't want to do late now with the chop saw. Could do another late night of sawing, probably too much. So we'll get that one quickly in tomorrow, and then we're pretty much in for plastering. The only other thing that's still on my brain is, do I actually still want to maybe chop some bits out here and put some extra noggins in, just for like having a mirror behind where we're going to put like the makeup vanity stand type area there. There's options there. I mean, there is a couple of studs and stuff we can mount stuff into if we absolutely have to, but there's options there if we need to. But yeah, very pleased with that. Now, what I found is that where there's the pipes running down the wall, so you can sort of see where it's bulging out a little bit here. Best thing I could do to get around those was actually just chop some slits and pull the insulation open a bit, the soundproofing open a little bit, and then the pipe slotted nicely into them. So we have done that section. Don't know how we're going to do the same on that particular section, but I have to have a go. Probably going to help that we've only got 40mm insulation rather than the full depth for like 7. I think it was like the next depth up to like 80, 90 or something like that, which is too wide for these studs. But yeah, that's that part of that done. Bit of an update then to wrap up the vlog. I've been doing some planning in regards to, do the walls, don't the walls need to come down? Just given our learning colleague, the plumber, a call. What I've realised is this room is 742 wide, or 1742mm wide. The bath is 1700. Theoretically, it's actually 1695 measuring it, which means I need to lose about 20-25mm inside the room. Now, to do that would mean putting not just one, not just two, but 3 layers of plasterboard, probably on this wall of Verees to do that, to get the depth to make sure that we can fit the bath in the right way. I don't like the idea of triple board and a plasterboard. So, new idea spawned, which was, we mounted this stubwork this way round because it fitted in originally with the top plate and how everything was going to fit with the shower tray and everything, so that's how we did it. I've just given a call to the plumber. If I was to flip this stud-work the other way, the same as it is on all of these walls, 1, it would make the wall thicker, and 2, it would lose all that space we kind of need to lose along the way. So we're going to call to the plumber. These pipes here aren't actually tied into anything in the roof, so actually we should be able to drop that down, pull the cable back up into the loft temporarily, and do that flipping. My woodwork skills are better than my plastering and plasterboarding skills, as currently so far proven. So I think that's probably the path of least resistance, which means we're going to flip all of that. We're going to take all of that out and flip all of that. I think that's the plan. So I'm going to do some material specking up a little bit later and work out how much we need to actually physically go and do that. Confirm that with Alex. He will come and drop those pipes out tomorrow if we're going to go do it, and then that'll be the plan for getting the bathroom to the size to get the bath in. Shenanigans! If I'd known about this earlier, we could have built the wall in that size, but hey ho, that's what the plan is, that's where we are, and we'll catch up with you at some point tomorrow when I'm fully decided and fully committed to that plan. But for now, that's the end of the vlog, so we will catch you all in tomorrow's vlog.